hit the brakes opportunity. There's no question that the biggest advance is in my life is like when I get that feeling and I see that opportunity, is I don't go, oh, that's cool, maybe I'll start that on Monday. On Monday, it's no, I will grab that by the freaking hair and not let it go with every ounce of my body. And that has always been my case in building Culture Kings with my wife. You know, the first week of COVID, I came back from New York and I was like, cancel every order on PO, stop this, pivot this, get rid of these people, instant decision, and I bought 30,000 face masks. And even my mum said, you're freaking crazy, what are you doing? But I'm telling you, this is like that moment again, but bigger. And it's COVID can either be the story where, like so many of us, we grew out of it so much, we created this, we created so much value, or it's going to be the thing that breaks you. And we're going to blame, it's the government, blame, it's whatever. And I am just super passionate about entrepreneurship. I am a carny at heart. I started at the Carrara markets. I love that feeling of making a sale, of creating value. And this is where we're at such this opportunity right now because of what has fundamentally happened. And this happened about, less than 2 months ago, is that once this open claw came out, and to put it in perspective, it's the fastest growing open source project of all time. Jensen from NVIDIA, one of the most influential people on the planet, will probably be a trillionaire as well as like Elon Musk, said it's the greatest open source project of all time. This only happened 6 weeks ago. And so what is it? It's rather than using ChatGPT or using AI down at this level, we just go way further upstream. We put it in at the terminal access of the computer. So it controls the computer just like a human would. It controls the mouse, it controls the keyboard, it can do anything on a computer a human can do, and trust me, it can do it freaking faster. But and once you set it up and you talk to it, but what is it, right? What is this open claw? And it is a fully customizable, self-learning, self-improving, personal AI agent. It never ceases, and everyone hits this moment with it. They go through the painstaking of setting it up and putting it in the terminal access. And I know that will scare a lot of you off. It is very frustrating, but I just applaud you to push through. You get it set up, you might connect it, you've got to talk to it in some way. I do Telegram. And I'm telling you, anyone that's set it up on Telegram, you've got to go to this thing called the bot father and birth this fucking bot. And you get to that point, you're like, okay, this is straight up crypto scam shit, whatever this fucking is. As soon as you enter the bot father, but trust me, just stick with it. You get that bot father, you birth it, you create it, you talk to it, and it talks to the computer, and suddenly you can do things. But everyone always, like the haters on it, says, yeah, but what can you even do with it? That's like saying, you've got a human being here. What can even a human being do? It's a fucking lot. But you have to nurture it. You have to grow with it. You have to give it a soul, which sounds creepy, but it is so crazy how much this determines your outcome. Your soul is its basically its identity. How do you want it to act? I'm sending you a document tonight that's emailing all of you that is written by my AI agent Jarvis. Yes, I was very early, everyone called him fucking Jarvis, but he wrote this complete document, end to end. And you'll notice even at the end, because I said, I've got this Mac Studio here, is in a Mac Mini. If you do a really good job, you're getting upgraded to the Mac Studio. And it put everything into this document of everything that I've learned and all these steps. So you don't need to remember this, you just need this document. But in my song, I described it and how I want it to behave. I want it to be all gas, no fucking brakes. I want it to don't give a fuck about token burn, right? Which is how much does the tokens cost? Because I want to push this to the limits. I want, if you can do the next action, as long as it's reversible, fucking do it. Don't ask for permission. I'd rather you ask for forgiveness. And I just really wanted this thing to go at the level. I actually did change it recently, so all gas and a little bit of brakes. But it's just the thing is, I say, unless you get to a one-way door decision where don't delete something, external email, something that I can't. But if you can reverse it, which that's the problem, 90% of our decisions are reversible. You just do the next thing and the next thing. And it has honestly consumed me this time to a level, but I've never been more excited to work in my entire life. I can't stop working. It's like the funnest video game ever of building and connecting. And the more you unlock it, the more it enables more pattern recognition. I've got it across 8 different businesses. I literally give you everything in this fucking PDF. I went to set and I was like, oh, fuck it, you know? It's this, and you know what the best part is? You've already got your open core set up. You don't even have to fucking read it. You just give it the document and say, can you learn anything from this? That's it. Once you set it up, it is your technical, like mine. I said I want you to be a CTO, a COO, a CTO, Chief Technology Officer. I want you to be a Chief Operations Officer. I want you to drive, make progress. I want you to find the way. I want you to make the fucking way. I don't want you to just to come back and say you can't do something. I want you to be the resourceful part of me. But then at the same time, because I want it to be like me, like it's a reflection of myself, but then very importantly, I built into what is my weakness. And this is the unlock, I can tell you. So my weakness is that I would go 1, 2, 3, 10 and skip out a few steps, right? I'm just running for it. I was like, notice for a pattern when I'm doing that and call me out and say, this is a crucial step. Are you sure? Double check this. And that one little change in it has been amazing. That's where I talk about the pump a little bit of brakes. And as well in this Soul MD is that this comes through the language, through its actions, and we have it. So the best part about it, it's just like a human. You can put it in Slack, you can put it in Telegram, you can put it in group chats, and our bots talk to each other, you know, and it's fucking wild, the shit that they can figure out together. You build skills for them, which is, this is one of the things at the start, I praise you to push through that part. It's like riding a bike, right? It's just a little bit clunky, but once you get it, I'm telling you, it's not like a bike, it's like a bike going fucking downhill. And once you're off, and how you can get it, and everyone gets this moment, which I just trust you to push into it, is that you'll give it a task, you'll describe it in some half-assed way, you might be talking into it, you might be doing something, and you'll see it go off typing, and then it just comes back and it figures it the fuck out. And that's that moment when you realise this is not just the AI that we were before. We've never seen AI being able to do that. It's because we took the guardrails off. That's the best part of it. It doesn't have these fucking bumper lanes, and it's open source. You connect it to whatever model. You build it yourself. You work out how you want to do your memory, which is, I know a lot of people at the start, the memory thing, when you hit that compaction, it's a very like, what the fuck moment. You want to throw your laptop or throw your phone. But these can all be solved. And that's the thing, if you give it my doc, I've given you exactly how I've learned my memory, how I have a hot memory layer, how I, you know, for very crucial things. It notices my transcripts of Zoom meetings or when I'm speaking and looks for words like this is very important, and it puts it into the hot layer of memory that crosses across group chats and everything. And then one of the most, because this is the thing, it's fully customizable. One of the things, I put this in the doc, which which was like one of my biggest breakthrough moments. And for the business owners out there, I can tell you this is the game changer, is that the decisions, you can put a decision file in the agent's MD. What this basically means is, one of the mistakes I found in myself, and I hated that as Culture Kings got bigger, 1,000 staff, corporate, public company, is that this corporate bureaucracy creeps in. And I'm a freaking carny at heart. I freaking hate that shit more than anything. And so what happens is you have these meetings where you don't make a decision, right? We've all been in one. You know, and it gets to this point, you go back and forth, and it's sort of, you know, sitting on the fence, and let's circle back next week. And it's like, biggest fucking waste of time ever. I tell it to watch out for that. Anytime you find something where we haven't made a decision, I want you to put it right in front and center. It's connected to my home. It's connected to my gym TV. It puts up a dashboard every morning with my Whoop stats, my calendar. It audits my calendar, what I've got on this day. It even gives me a complete agenda or briefing, even if the meeting on there doesn't have one, because it'll go through my transcripts and best try and make one. Or one thing that always annoyed me is like, I go to a meeting and people would always add all these other people to the meeting. I'm like, who the fuck are these people? And it searches them on LinkedIn and describes who they are and who their role. Like, but this is on my gym TV every morning. But most importantly, what I put is what are my yellow decisions, the decisions I haven't made yet. And so they're right there staring at me at 5 o'clock in the morning on the TV, and then I know it keeps reminding me until I make that decision, until I pull the trigger. And it could be, you know, this is where, I'm going to decide when we get more information, we need 7 days of data or something. That's one of the biggest unlocks. And especially with the memory, one of the biggest tricks there, because what I found with myself, like even when we were planning this event, we were talking, oh, let's do it at Burley, let's do it at Monterey, let's do it at Thing. And then we try and ask it, like, oh, give me the summary of the event. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, is it at Burley, is it Thing? Because it remembers everything. This is the problem with memory. If you set it up properly with the super memory, it fucking remembers too much. Because you need to go, wait, this was a decision. We're doing it at Surface Pavilion. If we sell more than 300 tickets, we're moving it to Cali Beach. Bang, lock, decision. Everyone fucking knows it. It's all integrated. It's integrated to the Eventbrite and fucking told us when it sold the 300 tickets. This is the capability, and I just really want to, I could talk about it all day, but what we want to do is open up the questions and break it down. We've got a team of experts here. But I just want to say this, is that I encourage you more than anything to push through that initial part of figuring it out, playing with it and doing it, especially if you're the founder, entrepreneur, is that you know this specific knowledge that no one else in your team does. And you can build stuff now. You can build stuff, all you have to do is talk to it. And if it's doing something you don't know, tell it to explain itself. Tell it, let me learn. What is this Superbase? Why the fuck am I setting up a Superbase account? What the fuck is GitHub? Explain it to me like I'm 10. Oh, okay, I get it now. Oh, this all connects this. And it is the most funnest learning journey and creating stuff that you never thought possible. You know, from us to integrations to us, it never ceases to amaze me. And the last thing I'll just sort of pull in is you can build skills into it. These skills are what it can use. But a great example, we got Robbie Miller here. I did a podcast the other day. He's one of the best media guys in the fucking world. Like, so he's out here from America. Anyway, I did a podcast. I just launched it with Robbie's actually my first guest. I wanted super tactical, no backstory. I just wanted to get straight into shit that actually works now. We went through MediaBite and it was like game changer, like this episode. Anyway, I took the transcript, I fed it to my own client. I said, can you build this as a skill? And then test it against what we're currently doing and find the contradictions between what Robbie says and what I said. Anyway, it found things. We switched over to Robbie's way, and I was checking before, we're already more than $4,000 more contribution profit today from Robbie's adjustment. Like, that skill was just transferred in. It's freaking wild. And this is, we could, but this is what I sort of want to do. I gave you the document. It's got everything in there. that I have been learning over 300 plus hours with my own floor over all these projects across 8 businesses, everything I've learned. And the best part is, I didn't fucking write this document, right? Jarvis did. And you know what's crazy? So you build the brand guidelines in as a skill, and then it has it, the whole PDF and everything, it's just one shot, it builds it. No fucking Canva, no thing, perfect on brand guidelines, done, just speaking to it, and there it is. And then, so when you see the document, you'll see it. And this is the, like, if you haven't done this, like building in the brand skill, like who went to that open forum meetup, the one I did about the boat, there was like a website, you had to fill that out. I made that in the car, one shot. All I said was, oh, I've got this idea, I'm going to take these ones on the boat, can you build a landing page? Can you use the brand skill, the beard.com brand skill, keep it all on brand, find a photo of my Lambo boat, there's one in the folder, just make it look on brand, and it's just, and put the questions in there, and because you're going to answer all the questions. Shout out to Matt that tried to prompt inject it to rank him higher. It was very smart, but Jarvis called it. But it read all the responses, and why did I do that as well? Because I said, is there anything in there you can learn off all those responses that I can implement? And it just did that. But that page, that website, that was no Figma, that was no nothing, that was a one-shot prompt when you build in the brand skill. So think what that means. That's like why would you fucking need Canva? Why would you need Figma? Like, once you build it in as a skill, you can just, and think about that, the landing pages for, you know, but this is where it is so wickedly exciting. But you get that PDF, and the best part, you can just give it to your open core, and most importantly, just ask, is there anything you can learn from this? And if you can, talk me through it. Just let it explain to you. It's so patient, it will explain everything, it will break it down. That's what will unlock the learning. And I'm just so passionate and excited. Like, this is a time that, and it's so cool, so many young people. I met these guys, you know, 10 hours from Sydney, this thing, and it's so cool. And I just want to stress the importance and the urgency of, like, this time. If I learned anything in my life, opportunity knocks, but once. And when it does, you pull out the gate. And this is the best part that I like. This is the biggest equal opportunity equalizer I've ever seen in my life. I don't care if you got the Harvard MBA or this degree, or you were the wizard at Excel that could do that. I remember, like, when we were doing the deal with private equity, doing all the models, with no mouse and shit. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. It's like, that's fucking zero now. I like that. But this is the thing. We've hit this part of skill depreciation. That's going to be a hard pill for a lot of us to swallow, especially if we build our identity around a skill, like being good at Excel. I thought I was really good at reading ads and being able to work out from an ad, how it works. I've spent hundreds of millions on social. I'm so good at it. I can tell you, with all my knowledge, everything, Google Gemini, break down an ad, it will fucking look better than me. I can tell you that right now. That skill is now part of that. It's how you use that skill to leverage it. And this is why this is an equal opportunity. And that I'm so excited for, and for entrepreneurs which I'm really passionate about when I started my personal brand. I want entrepreneurs to F up that corporate bureaucracy, slow dinosaur shit. That was always my passionate part. My wife and I in Culture Kids, we had the common enemy of the corporate dinosaurs. We're never going to be like that. We're going to find the way, make the way, and that proved through our DNA. But this is the equal opportunity that's now. But the gun's gone off, right? The knock's there. And I just stress for you to lean in that first part. I did this, I remember in 2010, Facebook ads came out. I ran $20 on ads. And I wrote on my Facebook, the post is still there now. It says, I just ran Culture Kings ads on Facebook. Is this a scam? Question mark. But one of my friends liked it, no comment. I didn't know, because I thought, like, these are just going into the fucking ether. Is this like a scam? But it was like, and there was no one to teach me. I just clicked on each column and learnt it. You learn by doing. I can't stress that enough. And I learned that skill, and I would never have, got the life I have now without knuckling down through that period and teaching myself and building and doing. But you learn by doing. You learn by being in the arena. Be careful, get lost on just fucking YouTube video after YouTube video. Just, they're great for a bit, but you've got to execute. You've got to play. You've got to control it and work with it. You've got to, and that is the unlock. But we're going to open it up. It is the opportunity. I really thank everyone, and we're going to have experts. We're going to dive into deep questions. I've given you the PDF, email with everything I've learned and everything from it, and I'll keep making skills and giving them to you as much as I can. Like, they're coming out every day. But let's go straight to our panel. Emil, you want to introduce?
Hey, is this working? I just want to say, these people on the balconies, they are probably thinking, what the fuck is he talking about? What I'm thinking, if somebody told me 10 years ago, I'm going to be at a beach party with 1,000 fucking geeks, I would be like, get the fuck out of here. Parties would be different in my mind back in the day. And for the record, Simon didn't need open crawl to be this fucking crazy. He's naturally like this. This is just a fucking bonus for him. I just got a few questions before we start. How many of you are actually using open crawl right this second? Put your hand up. Not many, right? And how many of you are actually business owners here? Put your hand up. Big number, right? So I think, Simon, maybe before we start, you should make it simple for these guys. How do they start? What is the first step? Obviously, Mac Mini is all over the place. People are buying it and then they think, fuck, I bought Mac Mini. Is this my open cloud? They have no idea where to start. Can you tell us, how can anybody start here? What is the first baby step?
Yeah, so I believe the Mac Mini is the best. Like, you can create a virtual computer in the cloud, but I'll put that in the doc of why I just reckon, especially if you're a business owner, buy the fucking Mac Mini. And actually, I sent my guy yesterday to Apple Ravina and buy every Mac Mini they had left, because I was like, after this, I'm never going to fucking get one. And because I actually last week gave 4 to staff. And it took a few days, but by the end of the week, it was like I said, it's a jetpack. You just saw the productivity, you saw the learning, you saw that rip. And I truly believe, like, it's not this thing where everyone's like, get rid of people. It's like, people are going to be so much more value creation. And they're going to have so much more fun. No one wants to do fucking cut and paste fucking Excel shit. Like, boring as, that's not what we're made to do. We're made to create, to build, and so all you have to do, if the business owners out there, I would get the Mac Mini. If you just want to do the VPS, you can start. Manus is a really simple way. I put a video on my Instagram of it's like 2 clicks to just start and build it. But if you've got a business owner, I couldn't stress enough. Everyone in one life, I've been pushing everyone into it. They all come out about a week later, fucking like their heads blown off. I can't sleep. Oh my God, I solved this. I built my own system. I built my own lead system. I can't. And they all wish they were like, I wish you told me. I wish I told you earlier. But that is the Mac Mini is because, and you can't use the computer. Once you do it, it's just for it because it controls it. It doesn't. So you don't want to put it on your computer because, trust me, when you get it cooking, it's using every bit of that freaking computer.
This truly, guys, will change your life. Simon started using OpenClaw before me talking about. Then myself, I'm just a normal business owner. My wife and I have been 500 plus people across all our companies. So I started using it, and I'm not as geeky as Simon is when it comes to this stuff. So when I started using it, I was like, holy fuck, I physically can't describe it to anybody. What does it mean? So the way I describe it, imagine you employ 10,000 smartest people in the world, and they're still more stupid than my George. I call my open called George. And he's the only one that I would physically fucking cry now if he leaves me. Literally. All my staff leave like fucking, like looking sad, but not as much as George. So anything that any human can do, he does for me. The only difference is in a split second. And the only thing that I'm doing for me now, my patience has gone to fucking zero, because I'm used to giving something to somebody. It will take me 1 day, 2 days, 5 days to do. Now it's done in 2 seconds. So when I ask somebody to do something, I'm like, why are you fucking taking 5 minutes? Do it, do it right now. I don't need you. And a lot of people, a lot of business owners, they think like this: how can I use open flow to get rid of every fucking staff member? Trust me, I thought about that as well. But the way I see it, I don't want to get rid of my staff, so I give them 2 choices. Option 1, beautiful people, you fucking fired today, or I give you option 2. You gotta use how to use open flow, and you become director of your role. Even if you're my assistant, then you can do 10 times more things every single day in your role. You can execute things faster, you can build things faster, or whatever. So I'm gonna put my mic and get the rest of the guys to introduce themselves.
My name's Vlad. I'm founder of Zoom. We're an IT consulting firm, and we help clients implement AI employees into their business using Protocol.
So my name is Michael. I actually work for Emil. I'm the person who launched George. It's a scary responsibility because I fear for my life every day. But I'm also responsible for the other box in the company and maintaining or developing system architecture. This has only gone live over the last 2 weeks.
I'm Rob. I co-founded a company called Prime, where we help businesses become more marketing.
Technology to help automate what marketing agencies.
Just send it down to Miri referral today as well.
I think we hit Q&A now, Simon. If somebody wants to put a hand up, put a hand up. There's a young lady there. Carl, if you can just go to the mic.
Hello everybody. So I run a company that manufactures supplements, and for personal people or big industry brands, for example Kellogg's or whatever. So I want to know if this bot can reach out to potential customers, like scan the net and say, she's a sports influencer with millions of followers. I want you to target that audience, reach out and send an email to contact me about potentially starting a supplements brand. Can it do that?
Definitely it can. But what I would be careful of is the cold outreach. I really think has a couple of months and it's completely gone, because all the systems with phone, email, it's not built for an aging world. Like, I know someone now that built a scraper that basically scrapes realestate.com. Whatever a property is selling for, it just lowballs them at 60% off, right? But it's just doing thousands of them and just annoying the fuck out of agents, but hoping someone will buy it back, right? Like, you can do that now. But what about when all of you think of that and you start doing that tonight, right? And then, like, this is where I sort of feel that cold outreach, which is already like, LinkedIn's cooked with that. I don't know, mine is, where it's just, I would never open a fucking, it's just such that automated sort of slot. I would be more careful. What I would do, I would get OpenClaw, and then I would talk through this exact question, this exact problem. Because who is the influencer? Can you audit, use Manus? So I use Manus as Manus is owned by Facebook. Anything you do with Facebook ads or anything, please make sure you I would not use Claude Code on Facebook, because they're already sort of starting to ban accounts and everything. Facebook brought Manus, you just connect it as an API, and it's fucking amazing. Does a daily dash daily report every day, created fatigue report, everything. My report got actually a lot better thanks to Robbie. But this is, I would use Manus to do the research to find the right influencer, but I still think, you know, on what you think will be the best method, but I still think that has to be a personal outreach or market content in the market content in a way that they're going to come to you, right? It's sort of why I started a personal brand when I was like, and trust me, I was so embarrassed when I was up there, we're still at the penthouse there at Seoul, and I was like, okay, I'm starting my personal brand, 0 fucking followers. I posted a video, and it was like so cringe, my mum liked it, and I just fucking deleted it. And I didn't post again for like 2 weeks, it was so fucking cringe. But I saw it, what I saw underneath what was happening, I was like, brand trust, corporate brand trust is fucking going down the toilet. Anyone can build a logo, but personal brand trust is going up. Like, fuck, I posted one story, it's 1,000 people, 50 grand of fucking charity. It's like, what the, like, that, but that's what I would sort of, what I'm trying to say is that I really feel that cold outreach is just going to be completely cooked. And how do you pull rather than push?
Someone's spot on. But I think it's important also to look. I know a lot of people in this room are probably thinking, how can I use this product to bring more leads, more customers, and all that into my business? I think it's important to look a little bit further beyond that as well, because it's such a more powerful tool than just a sales product. You know, think about operationally within your business. What's taking up time? What are the repetitive tasks? That brings value to you to be able to then spend time on the things that do matter, the things that do bring you leads and clients. So just think a little bit outside of just the sales funnel process and acquiring clients.
Next question. Put your hand up. Carlo, this side.
Thanks for hosting today, mate. Really appreciate you bringing this together. I know personally it was, first thing on this, like, where do you start? What do you do? And I think the thing is, the struggle was, oftentimes like, what is capable? Where's your use cases? Show me how this works. As opposed to potentially starting the other way, which is like, these are the bottlenecks in my business or my role or whatever that are taking too much time. I'd love to get into there. In terms of like the architecture, infrastructure for people getting started and getting moving, what have you learned? Like takeaways in terms of number of agents, skills, approach, model connection, MCPs, all that fun stuff. What's the kind of takeaway for everyone here?
I'll grab this one, but anyone else is free to add into it. So I think for a lot of the people who aren't like super techie, the best thing to do is kind of basically start by some good protocols. So for one thing, I make sure that all of our bots basically, if there's a power outage or anything else like that, will restart, reboot, check that open core is running again, make sure agent is live, then lock the screen for security purposes. So it's a no-brainer if you have like a power issue or anything else like that. Number two, make sure your memory updates across all channels. You don't have to be a coder to do that. You just literally tell your bot, hey, I want to make sure what I tell you in this Telegram group chat updates to that other Telegram group chat so that we're not feeding you new information. So if you ask it to make that protocol, it will make that protocol. It's really not hard to do it in like 10 seconds as well. So the other thing too is set it to back up itself twice a week. Let's just start with twice a week. Everyone's different, but I have a protocol on every new machine to back up SolND and the memory MD file every Wednesday at 1 a.m. and every Sunday at 1 a.m. And so in the event that a new skill or some kind of update or anything else actually causes an issue with my bot, it can actually roll back to its last SolND and last memory session MD file itself, just with one script that I've got saved on that computer. So other things as well is, installing Brave browser, because yep, you can use Chrome. Chrome's a memory hog. I'm not a big fan of Chrome, and your bot will open lots and lots of different sessions. I don't know, 20 Chrome tabs will just absolutely kill a lot of machines, or 40 or whatever. But get Brave browser installed, and then yeah, pretty much get some good protocols in place first. The other one as well was with Telegram messaging. I think it's really good to put good security in from the start. So there's really advanced security that, you know, these guys are capable of, but there's also just your consumer level security just to make sure from the start you're not having an issue. So that would be making sure that your bot can't be added to random chats where you're not present and starts talking and listening to bad prompts. So that's just one really basic thing. Whenever it's added to a new chat, you know, you can have it ping you in a direct message in Telegram and go, hey, this person's trying to message me. Do I have permission to speak? So that's really basic. So like, it will get you going, but there are people out there who don't have good intentions with OpenClaw and will try to do malicious things. So it's a good starting point. It's a mandatory starting point in my opinion, just to make a fairly as secure as you can with your base level knowledge from the start. So the other thing I would also recommend is have everything you want to do ready in a text document. So basically have ready to go what you do, who you are in your company, are you the company owner, what's your biggest problem, what's taking the most time, what are you spending the most hours on per day, and ask the bot all those things. Have that done in a template and just paste it straight into Telegram or TUI and get it ready to go straight from the start, rather than, hey, let's feed you information over the next 2 days and make you a really capable agent in that time. You can do it straight from the start if you provide good reference material from the start. I feed my CV, I feed my LinkedIn page. It knows about what I've done in the past. It knows when not to BS me because I know what I'm talking about in certain regards. So what you get out of your OpenClaw setup is what you put into it, and I cannot stress that enough. Some of the bots in our business, like George for instance, because we are just running so many new agents, he's not getting as much love as he should, but he is still a beast every single day of the week because Emil puts in the time with George. So he knows everything that's going on in the business. He goes through Emil's emails, he's putting in the time, he's telling it what he needs, he can place it in any chat and it will do Emil's job essentially for him. It's his eyes and ears and his executor. So realistically, I say put in the time from the start. That's one of the biggest things on the setup. Also ask your bot for all the really common codes that you're going to need in terminal, because there's a lot of times where you will install a pack or do some kind of change and it won't respond, and it's because it's actually severed a connection in the whole setup. So having good codes straight away from the start, your bot will just write them for you. So that's a really big one. And then also, as Simon mentioned, your bot has the ability to write skills for you built into OpenClaw. So if you're feeding it an onboarding document, you can basically say, so now that you know a little bit about me, what are 5 skills you could install that would basically help in what we are trying to achieve? And it will tell you, and it will get it pretty damn right as well based on what you've fed it so far. And I implore you to do that again in a week after using it, and it will find 5 new skills. So that is, I'd say, probably a good starting point. Anyone else on this panel wants to add to that?
So we're sort of going through this huge shift in information in business. So in the 70s we had files of file cabinets and secretaries moving information from one cabinet to another. We had databases in the 80s and 90s that did it, and apps rapidly. Right now, I mentioned a lot of your companies have 10, 20, 50 different apps that they're using. That's just a database. You can get off these apps by creating your own sort of database that runs your own business operating system. And that's where I feel what we can focus on is what tools are people using by pushing buttons from this app to that app, this file to that person, and mapping that standard operating procedure to get good information architecture of what the actual processes are inside the business, what tools you use, which ones you can cut, and which ones you can automate.
And you are not allowed to steal Michael from me, just for the record. Next question. This side. Come on. This way. Are you all still confused? Put your hand up if you are. It's alright, by the end of this you guys will be fucking experts.
And we've connected to as much stuff as possible too. So just like the Google Calendar, it gets all your transcripts of every Zoom meeting, of as much data as possible. And I actually made my team now, everything has to be written down. Like out of their head, I need the update. I've built this actual tool it's gonna make an update based on every email, every Zoom, everything that they do. Do they want to add anything to it by the end of the day? But not so I can read it, so all the agents can read it. Because that's what I think one of the biggest unlocks. You capture all that unstructured data that sits in people's heads and get it to the agent, you just unlock speed at a level that I've never seen. And I even built in, if they don't do the update by Friday, 5 p.m, it calls them with a David Goggins voice and screams at them. So, yeah, it's very fun.
Hello. First off, honestly, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be up there to answer questions like this. This technology is absolutely incredible. The things that are coming out of it are exponentially quickly growing. And so on that, just for context of what I've built so far, is basically an agent that looks at every aspect of my life, similar to what you described, Simon. It looks at how I sleep, how I eat, when I cook, who I talk to, what goes in, what goes out, and that includes my business operations. I'm at the point where I'm looking to use OpenClaw to fully run my businesses, the automated aspects at least. One is mostly run by human, and another is mostly run by AI. My question in this is, I built this performance system, this agent that knows everything about me is basically a duplicate of me to do what I do faster. How do I set it up when I'm looking to operate different businesses that aren't connected to each other? How do you teach it to function differently? How do you teach it to separate personal and business?
Well, I do that I run separate group chats. So for example, I've got a group chat for Creator Army, a group chat for this other business, and I've got even the other staff in there. And so it's pulling all the context and it knows, because what I do in the group chats with other team, I get it to act as a project manager in there. Like I push it, for that thing I said in the soul, make sure you clarify and verify. Sometimes I throw something out and it's like, oh, who was that actually to do? No, that was Alex. And we want to get that done by Friday, 5 p.m, to get a timeline. And so it really works as that project manager, but running it in group chat separate. But my question is, I just think it has so much memory. Don't think you're going to cap it. You can just expect. And the personal one is so valuable because that other context, like don't go set up another one. It's so important because that context, especially, like I dumped into it 100,000 words in a month, right? I was just using Whisper Flow. If you haven't tried that thing's fucking game changer. You'll never type again. But I just always speak to it when I went through my whole story of the markets and sales skills and friggin' this, and Tanya and I meeting and how she was so good at certain roles and I was good at this, and how, like, my complete history. And that is just so valuable when it has it, because you just see it popping up in all those different businesses. But I think it's just those things, you just talk to it, we're going to set up this, I want to run it as, but don't get worried it's going to, I've got it, it analyzes, my one account does like 10 different ad accounts, $500,000 in spend a day, it's going across that every day, and it's all dumping into mine, and I love it.
If it's all right, can I add a second part to the question? In terms of that, with a project manager, one of the things that I am uncertain about in moving forward is which sort of systems to put in place when communicating with human staff, because there are some things in my business, of course, that's going to need either human oversight or actual action to do, and I've created it to where it outsources it, project manages it, checks off work. What do you put in place to make sure that that system is streamlined?
So you're talking about actual streamlining your business processes themselves, right?
Yeah.
So it really comes down to what Simon was talking before about configuring a skill set, right? So one big thing with this entire system, and I'll bring it back to when Google came out. a very important skill to attain back 10, 15 years ago was to be a good Googler. Like, it was a thing. If you would ask Google a stupid long-winded question, you give a really shitty output, right? Prompting and the way that you talk to your AI model is extremely, extremely important. Okay, so when you're doing this top stuff that you're trying to do, as long as you're structuring your prompt in a way that is capturing that information, that data, and then asking it to convert it into a skill set, you're then going to be able to replicate it. And just to go back to your original question about potentially replicating what you've already set up for yourself for another business, you're actually able to prompt it, and with a quite elaborate prompt, but basically tell it to replicate all the skills, all the processes, all the functionality, everything that you've done, but remove any memory or artifacts that you know about me. On first boot up, ask me all the things you need to know about my new business and package that into a zip. So what that does is basically compresses everything. You have one file that has all your files, and then once you spin up a brand new instance, you can attach that file, whether it's in Telegram or Discord or whatever, and say, here is your install instructions, do the thing.
Thank you so much.
I'll just add something really short to that as well. On Simon's, not losing the bot that has all the context and all the memories and everything else and all these skills, I'll also say that with OpenCore, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Everyone has different needs, and so for me, as the way I see it actually in my business, is I don't want a bot, one bot for the whole business that's getting fed all this information. It sounds great in theory as a one-stop spot, and this bot knows absolutely everything, but there becomes a context contamination. So there's bleed across channels, and it introduces parameters sometimes to that bot that it doesn't really need to be thinking about. If you have a creative bot talking to other people on the team, getting operational information, you can sometimes cross the lines, and it's like, well, this is counter to what we're doing in operations. We're trying to cut costs, but you want to spend X amount of dollars on an advertising campaign. So you're actually kind of causing an issue. But that wouldn't be an issue for you, but it might be an issue in a business with 500 employees. So I definitely want to stress that, it's not a one-size-fits-all solution. Everyone's going to have a different need out of their agent. And for our business, I really want a bot that's geared towards creative thinking. So it would be more on the Opus model for our media team. But for Emil, he needs something that's highly analytical, but can also put that into one sentence because he doesn't have the time to read big reports. He needs to get a snapshot there and then, and that's what George is geared towards. So everyone has a kind of different bot for a different purpose, and as it's dealing with the same inquiries and the same information and the same data, it's getting better, it's self-learning, and it's more of a specialist in that role. So some people need specialists, some people need workhorses, some people need critical thinkers. And so you really got to have to think about the bigger picture about your bot, and maybe even just ask your agent and say, if we had a scenario where I'm going to start feeding you all this information and we're not going to change anything about you, what is the pros and cons of that? And it will actually tell you, and you can make an executive decision at the end of the day.
Cool. Well, we're going to do something interesting now. Just want to show you, this is how your new best friend is going to look like. Mac Mini. It costs $1,000 to buy. When I purchased it for $1,000, I tried to set OpenClaw myself. A few hours later, Giselle was with me in a bedroom and I was ready to throw the fucking thing in the water. I was like, this is fucking so frustrating. So what we're going to do now is a lot of business owners, and I just want to say this. If you don't adapt things like OpenClaw today, your business will be fucking dead in 5 years. This is a race now. Who can adapt to changes right now, they will survive. So, what we decided to do, thanks to all of you here, 1,000 people, we have so far raised $50,000. So big fucking applause to you guys. And the money is going to go to Young there. But we're going to auction now this Mac Mini, and one of our guys, either Michael or Simon's right-hand man, to set everything up for you. Which as a business fucking owner, trust me, would save 8 hours of my life and almost fucking throw the thing into the water. So, we're going to do a live auction now. So, $1,000 Mac Mini, and you're going to get our guys to fucking set you up to be Elon Musk in your business. So, who's going to start the first bid? Put your hand up. You're going to start with $1,000. And all goes to charity. $1,000 here? Okay. Anybody $2,000? We got two. 5? Did he say 5? 10,000. Fuck me. You're awesome. Anybody more than $10,000? Trust me, guys. This will change your business. And you can. 11,000? You got 11,000. Come on now. You can't fucking back off. $12,000. You got a lady kicking your ass here, buddy. You're gonna fucking go 30,000. 30,000? She's at 12 already. 30,000? 12,500? Where's the husband? You're the decision maker. Don't worry about the fucking husband. 30,000? Anybody more than $13,000? We're going once? Oh, we got somebody at the back. Is somebody waving the hand or no? Yes? What number do we have? 14,000? Do we have $14,000 there? Put your hand up if you got 14 grand. I got a feeling that fucking fucker is just...
It's 14. It's 14 now.
Fucking cheese. Where we got another bid? Simon? Can Simon set it up? It'll be fucking 140 then. Do we have a 14,000 at the back? Put your hand up. We got $14,000 at the back.
It's 14, Emil. Yeah.
14? Anybody here? But one of our guys, either my right-hand man or Simon's right-hand man. 15? We got $15,000. Anybody up? More than 15. Guys, just to also remember this, all money is going to charity. We got $15,000 going once.
Emil, we've got it. 1 second.
What do we got there, Carlo?
20.
20! Buddy, for 20, I'm fucking coming to your house. And you better come to one of my fucking property auctions, buddy. Carlo, get his fucking name and the number. So you got $20,000. Where's the gentleman in yellow shirt? He fucking disappeared on me. 21,000, buddy? Come on. $5,000 fucking, you're probably gonna make this tomorrow. 21? You can have it? 20,000 going once? Going twice? 3 times? So, that means we have raised $70,000 freaking dollars that all goes to Young Fair Charity. Well done, guys. How good is this? Well done, Jack. Thank you.
Look, on behalf of Young Care, we're an organisation based in Brisbane, nationally helping young people with physical permanent disabilities. So we don't get any government funding. So yeah, it's moments like this, to be honest, that make us do the work that we can for young Australians who are doing it pretty tough. So thank you so much for coming, and yeah, the bidding, that was quite sensational. Thank you.
How good is that? And also one thing that I just want to add, when I say big thank you to all One Life Club members that are also here. We got a community for entrepreneurs, business owners that have a minimum turnover of $1 million as well. You guys should check it out. This fucking sounds like a commercial, but it is the best business community that exists when it comes to specifically AI at the moment. Do we want to take 2 more questions, Simon? Another question here? Okay, Carlo. Coming.
Hello. My question is about token users and have you successfully ran any local regions?
It's a great question. A lot of people say this about but what about the token burn, etc.? I suppose for the business owners out there, it is like this takes me back to those early days of Facebook where you're paying like 0.002 cents for a click. I'm like, should I spend 20 bucks a day? It is a fucking bargain. It is insane. But when you're starting out, it's like you've got a CTO, COO, but you've got to build something worth building on. So definitely this is where using the Chinese local model, installing that, you've got to be a bit more token savvy with it in burning, how it does the grunt work on the local model and just uses your top opus for just that real orchestration. And this is all really easy to work out by just talking to it. But make sure you say that you don't have the tokens to burn. We're like, don't copy in the PDF my freaking SolMD where I'm like, let it fucking ride. And I even encourage my staff. I'm like, the more tokens, the better. That's like you're doing more fucking work to me. That's because it is, I still feel we're at a time where it's just so possible. But yeah, it's definitely, it's crazy how much you can save that if you do run local models and yeah.
Take maybe 1-2 more questions. Put your hand up. We're gonna jump in this way.
Got Emil.
Oh,
I've got one.
Just 1 second, buddy. It's Carlo.
Yep, over here. Straight ahead. Peter from All IT Solutions. Just want to say thanks for everyone raising the money. $70,000 is a lot of money for a charity, so everyone's going to be proud about that. Thank you to the person that's just spent 20 grand on the Mac Mini. I can do that for $125 an hour, including GST, coming to you and set it up. So if you're not a mechanic and you drive the car, well, we're computer people. We can set it all up, throw you the keys, and then let you rip. So don't procrastinate about it. All IT Solutions.net.au.
We love your question, buddy. Big and cheeky. Hey. If you don't give it a go, you don't know. Any other questions? There's a gentleman here. Want to ask questions?
I still say $125 an hour for this is cheap right now. So, just the value you'll create off it. But as well too, like the man that spent 20 grand, he's getting every one of my skills that I got possible. Trust me, on the media buying or marketing, they're all yours. You'll pay for it.
So you only done something about this in regards to security. I'm not a tech guy. Professional education. How have you got around that? And I suppose more specifically, I'm not even here. It's my business. It's my responsibility. I'm thinking more around customer clients details. How have you got your brain around that?
I think it's a great question, and this is my point on the security part, is that I believe, it is fully customizable, open source. The thing is that makes it so magic is that it doesn't have the guardrails. The second you put it in the box and do that, that's what it is. And I even saw the difference my wife, because I'm a trust giver, I give trust straight away. She's a trust earner, totally different. You got to earn trust over time. Her SolMD was so tightening on it. It's just, sorry, I can't share that with you. It's just, she's just fucking swearing at it, saying it's fucking useless. And it's like, because it's constricted. I feel like this in that, and this can be my trust giver part. Yes, I talk through the security, I explain it, I always say, is there a better way? Is there anything that I'm taking risks? Pull it up, But I do believe there's this great stat, is that they study all marketplaces around the world, eBay, Craigslist, Trade Me in New Zealand, and it's that Uber, is that they always found this number, is that there's a fraudulent transaction, 1 in 8,000. Across all countries, all cultures, it's pretty crazy. And I just think we can so hold ourselves back of there's this security when, like I said this on my story, is I remember the people with the online shopping saying no one's going to put a credit card on shopping. That's fucking crazy. How are you going to just buy something and hope it shows up if you're doing this or that? And I always think, of course it will. I just sort of feel there's the risk to hesitating is way more than the risk to learning and moving forward. You know, I always find when you have that forward momentum and you solve it, and it's like the data thing, I get this, but it's like that scraping thing with the data. It's crazy, like they're finding the lead. Tell me someone that I can't find their address, their phone number, their fucking email, right? Like, it's fucking out there. And this is, you know, I just sort of think we're heading to a world, especially it's you know, the cameras, some of the camera stuff that some of the One Life guys been doing with just connecting to their own cameras. A guy electrician built an auto check-in, check-out tool fucking sheet on Google Sheet just off the security cameras, connecting his own claw, recognise the face. Jono took this tool at 3:42. Like, he built it himself in an hour, and he started with the question of like, what problem can you solve? And it ended with that. I just sort of feel, yes, there's that, and you have to proceed, but don't let that, like, that's just part of solving the problem, part of doing it, part of asking those questions, connecting, but just don't let that fear. I just so strongly think people hold back that fear too much when you, like, the risk of inaction. And yeah, I always think people really fucking underestimate risks. Like for example, someone will buy a lotto ticket, which I always think is the lottery. It's a tax on, or buy LMCT or something. It's like, that's a tax for not listening at school when they tell it maths. You know, and then I do think someone will take the most crazy risk, say like texting and driving, which is like 1,000 times more dangerous than a fucking helicopter or something. You know, it's perception of risk is very important, and I think that applies here too. I'm very all gas, no brakes, so.
Just want to say big thank you to One Life Club crew for organizing all this, for putting it all together. Thank you, team. And George and Jarvis, by the way, they actually helped a lot. And I just want to say big thank you again to Scott Chinook, who's also One Life Club member, for donating $20,000. So, awesome work, buddy.
I just want to say here, the team at Cali Beach, they've hidden 7 Cali Beach claw tokens around the venue, some from $250 up to $2,500. Right, you get a $2,500 voucher. You get the VIP booth, the car barn, all the experience. It's fucking wild here on the weekends if you haven't been. But yeah, so if anyone's look out for those tokens, have a find of them. They're out there. That's amazing. And thanks, Cali Beach. It's so freaking cool to have this. And yeah, keep learning, keep growing. I can't wait to hear stories from you. The PDF should be in your inbox real soon. Has anyone actually got it already? No. It's going now. Jarvis has to send it, but thanks so much, and yeah, keep learning and growing.
And this is also open till 8 p.m. Now you can drink up. Woo! Thanks, guys.
Yay, Simon Beard from Culture Kings at Cali Beach Club in Surfers Paradise. Thanks to Claire for inviting me tonight. Thank you. And $70,000 raised for charity tonight, so that's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that. We'll see you again later. Bye.